Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, in today's report, I am going to show you one of the most vilest, creepiest, craziest, most intrusive creations that have ever been funded by Bill and Melinda Gates. And this thing is downright terrifying because what they have done is they've literally genetically modified mosquitoes to make them, well, mosquito vaccinators or flying vaccinators, whatever term you want to get it. And this is where Bill and Melinda Gates' money is going. And I'm going to show you in today's report. But the reason I want to bring this up at this particular time is because of everything that is going on with COVID-19. If this guy is funding genetically modified mosquitoes, specifically flying vaccinators, then I think it's something that you should be aware of because obviously there's a lot of money going in that direction. But before I do, I want to remind you guys, get to restrictedrepublic.com. I cannot stress this enough. Right now, we've got that 14-day free trial, and I've got so much information on there. And as you know, conservatives are getting censored off of multiple platforms every single day. So please start subscribing to these alternative sites and get on restrictedrepublic.com and check out not only exclusive video content for Restricted Republic, but we also put our YouTube videos on there without any commercials. So commercial-free content. All right, so let's dive into what's going on with Bill and Melinda Gates. Now, I originally found this on humansarefree.com. Bill Gates wants to release genetically modified mosquitoes to inject you with vaccines. Now, the article goes on to state, saying flying syringes is a phrase that is used to refer to a proposed project funded by Bill Gates to create genetically modified mosquitoes that inject vaccines into people when they are bitten. Talk about a violation. These are mosquitoes that are going to fly around and bite whoever they want, and there is no informed consent. I mean, really? That's not legal, right? No, it isn't. But the article goes on. In 2008, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation awarded $100,000 to this particular guy, right, of the medical university there in Japan to do research on these genetically modified mosquitoes. Now, let me just pause. If it's against the law to vaccinate people without their informed consent or just, do things like that, why would you even fund a project like this? You see where I'm heading with that? Then the article goes on to say that this particular man at the university there in Japan thinks it might be possible to turn mosquitoes that normally transmit disease into flying syringes so that when they bite humans, they deliver vaccines instead. Now, the professor said that he will attempt to design a mosquito that can produce and secrete a malaria vaccine protein into the host's skin. The hope is such mosquitoes could deliver protective vaccines against other infectious diseases as well. Now, here's the other problem I have with this is you're messing with human nature here. So the scientist is literally saying he's genetically modifying stuff. It's like playing God. You're messing with DNA. We don't really know the long-term repercussions of changing the actual DNA, if you will, of mosquitoes or any other thing for that matter. That's why I'm hesitant for GMOs, but they're all over the place anymore. Now, here's the actual information on the grant, and this is on the WashingtonPost.com. I'll leave this below in case you're questioning, but it says flying syringes and other bold ideas. This was published a while back, but the charitable foundation funded by Microsoft Corporation Chairman Bill Gates has awarded 104 grants, each for $100,000, in a bid to inject entrepreneurial boldness and risk-taking into the often staid world of medical research, including those flying vaccinators, if you will. And then there's this. This is on Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You can see in the upper right-hand corner there, and it says this: production of transgenic mosquitoes. And this was an awarded grant. See, at the very top, it says awarded grant by Bill and Melinda Gates. And what did they award the grant to? A flying syringe to deliver protective vaccines via saliva. In case you're questioning the article, this is evidence that they funded this particular project. Professor, and there's that same professor there of the university in Japan, will attempt to design a mosquito that can produce and secrete a malaria vaccine protein into a host's skin. The hope is that such mosquitoes could deliver protective vaccines against other infectious diseases as well. Right? Maybe I'm sure he means well. Anyhow, that's for a topic on Restricted Republic. But either way you look at it, isn't that, again, kind of doing something to a person without an informed consent? I mean, if it's part of God's creation and a mosquito bites you and you get sick with whatever, I mean, we can't stop that. That's part of nature. But this is a little different because, again, we don't know the long-term effects of these mosquitoes. And here's another article just to hone it a little more. This is on sciencemag.org. Researchers turn mosquitoes into flying vaccinators. And again, you can look. This again talks about the group of Japanese researchers that are developing mosquitoes that spread vaccines instead of disease. Then we also have here, this is some of the other stuff. Whoops, going back. That they're studying. You can just pause that and read that on your own, but it expands on the vaccine here. It says use of mosquitoes to become what the scientists call flying vaccinators. Normally, when mosquitoes bite, they inject a drop of saliva that prevents your blood from clotting. The Japanese group decided to add an antigen, a compound that triggers an immune response to the mix of proteins in the insect saliva, thereby changing it. Why is this important? Well, if you read and know Bible prophecy, you know that there's little weird things that come out of the pits of hell towards the latter days. But really, I mean, it is a scary thing. When we're talking about literally the manipulation of the building blocks of what makes a mosquito, or what makes a human a human. And obviously there's medical advancements on both of those that can be good, right? Who wants a mosquito to bite them that has malaria and get sick with malaria, or fill in the blank? Nobody wants that. So if there's a way that we could do that with staying in the guidelines, not manipulating the very building blocks of what God created, I don't know, then by all means. So I get that there's medical things that we could do that have great, good things in the medical field. But then if you're going to do those particular things, it can always be taken advantage of and be used in a very wrong direction. And that's also the problem that I have with it. But I wanted to show you some of the other stuff that Bill Gates is meddling in regards to mosquitoes. This is on foxnews.com. Bill Gates donates $4 million to create mosquitoes that kill each other using sex to kind of bring down the population of mosquitoes. And then we have here, newsweek.com, engineered mosquitoes backed by Bill and Melinda Gates to wipe out malaria, right? What's more important, I guess, is to know what's really and truly going on and how exactly are they accomplishing these things. Anyhow, I wanted to get that out to you because I think it's important in light of what's going on with COVID-19. And I think now is the time to kind of reveal some of that medical research to know where we could or could not be, or maybe potentially headed in the future. And in this particular case, a genetically modified mosquito doing that, I'm obviously not for that. But anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. Please don't forget to check out my partner at hidewithelisa.com. If you guys don't have a VPN, now is the time to get one. If you don't want hackers, DDoS attacks, everyone digging into your information, then you need to get a VPN, because what a VPN does is it basically hides what you're looking at on the internet, and it's nobody's business. And this is why I personally chose to go with Virtual Shield, is because within 24 hours, they throw everything away so it doesn't even exist, even if somebody comes knocking at their door. So check them out now at hidewithlisa.com. They've got some of the best prices on the market, and you get it free for 30 days. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning into the channel here. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.